Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I really do hope that you decide to subscribe and turn on your notification bell, and if you're a current subscriber, please make sure that your bell is on, as YouTube doesn't like suggesting true crime content. Today I'm coming back at you with a true crime video. This is the first true crime video that I've done in a while. It is a video about a missing person. It's an older case and it is part of my Where Are You series. Where Are You is a series that I have going on my channel at the moment where I cover missing people's cases, as I do believe these are the most important cases because these people are still out there somewhere. What I will do is I'll leave a card up on whichever side it is with a link to the full playlist if you want to go and check some of them videos out as well. Today we are discussing the disappearance of Jennifer Kesse. Jennifer Kesse was born on the 20th of May 1981 and she spent most of her life living in Tampa, Florida with her parents Drew and Joyce Kesse. She was a beautiful little girl. She was very smart and caring. As she grew older, she was well known for her bubbly personality. She loved to laugh and she loved to make other people laugh too. She was a popular girl, she had lots of friends, but during high school her one best friend was Carrie. They would joke and mess around together. Carrie remembers that herself and Jennifer used to memorise rap songs and sing them together. Carrie had also said how Jennifer was amazing, loyal and responsible. Jennifer had graduated from the Vivian High School in Tampa, Florida. She then went on to study at the University of Central Florida in Orlando, where she graduated in 2005 with a degree in finance. She was determined to get where she wanted in life. She worked really hard in school and that paid off when she graduated. She received many job offers, but she decided to work at the Central Florida Timeshare Investment Company in Orlando. As I said, she was determined to move up in her career and that really shined through in work. She worked really hard and within a short time she was promoted to finance manager, and she happened to be the youngest manager within the company. Due to Jennifer's hard work, determination and the new role that she had just landed, she had managed to get her own condo in Orlando. It was a lovely house in a lovely area, and at only 24 years old, Jennifer was really living the dream. She had her dream job and dream home, and it seemed like everything was going really well. Despite everything being great, at the time of moving into her condo, the site was actually still under construction. Only half the condos were occupied. There were builders on the site every single day, and Jennifer had expressed to friends and family that these builders made her feel really uncomfortable. The builders would catcall and whistle at her, they would watch her constantly, and all this together just made her feel really uncomfortable and odd. That would make me feel uncomfortable, especially when it's happening right on your doorstep. So I don't think Jennifer was wrong in telling friends and family what was going on. Despite Jennifer being really bubbly and kind of a funny personality, she had a really anxious side too. Her parents had been attacked and held at gunpoint before Jennifer was born, so Joyce and Drew had raised their children to be more careful and cautious of their surroundings. Whenever Jennifer felt uncomfortable or unsure of a situation, she would call somebody, whether that be her mum, her dad, a friend, just so that they would know her location. That way, if something went wrong, if something was wrong with the situation, the person she was on the phone to could get help. And I suppose in a way it's some sort of defence mechanism, because there have been many times where I have even pretended to be on the phone when walking down a dark street, because in a way it's a deterrent to avoid a situation happening. So I totally understand why Jennifer would do that on a regular basis. Every now and again the builders would have to enter Jennifer's home to complete work. She wouldn't allow the builders to be alone. She would always make sure that she was there to watch them. During this time she would again be on the phone to somebody, and she did this the whole time that the builders were in her property. One of the people that she would always call was her long distance boyfriend, Rob Allen. They were in a long distance relationship and had been for around a year. Even though it was a long distance sort of thing, they considered themselves to be very serious. Jennifer would make a 3-hour journey every weekend to spend the weekend with Rob. They were constantly in contact. In January 2006, Jennifer and Rob had actually gone to St. Croix in the Virgin Islands for a vacation. They had lots of fun, and this was apparent from Jennifer's phone calls. As I've said before, she was constantly in contact with her parents, and she would call them every single day, updating them on what they had done together, what trips they had been on, what they spent the days doing, and in general it just sounded like Jennifer had lots of fun. The couple had returned to Rob Allen's home on the 22nd of January 2006. Jennifer had decided to spend the night with Rob and then drive to work the next morning. This wasn't out the ordinary for Jennifer. This is something she would do every single weekend. She would stay at his home on the weekend and make the 3-hour journey to work on the Monday. Her work colleagues had said when she returned to work that Monday, she seemed very excited and she was happy. She was telling everybody about her vacation, talking about the fun she had, and in general she was just her normal bubbly self. On the 24th of January 2006, Jennifer's parents receive a phone call from Jennifer's employer. Jennifer had not attended work that day and she hadn't called in sick. This worried her employer. This was not like Jennifer. Jennifer attended work every day. She was work driven. Her mum and dad immediately tried to get in contact with Jennifer but failed to do so. So they decided to pack up the car and drive over to Jennifer's condo to see if she was there. Her parents live around 2 hours away, so whilst they were driving over, they called the manager of the condo to see if he had a spare key, and he did. So they give him permission to enter the condo, and he confirmed with the parents that she was not there, her car was still there, and everything seemed normal. When her parents arrived, they confirmed for themselves that everything seemed normal. Her wet towel was still on the floor, there were things out on the counter, so it just seemed that she had got ready and left for work that morning. Despite everything looking normal, her parents knew that something wasn't right. So they decided to call the police shortly after arriving to report Jennifer as missing. Police had initially suggested that maybe she just ran away, she had decided to leave, maybe she had an argument with a friend or a boyfriend, and they suggested that there was probably nothing sinister about this whole situation. Given this information, her friends, her parents, her family decided to rally all together and go out themselves and search for Jennifer. They were walking around the area, they were giving out Jennifer's picture in hopes that somebody had seen her that morning. At 5 p.m, around 2 hours after initially calling the police decided they would start an investigation, and they sent an investigator round to Jennifer's home. An investigator started to talk to people who were close to Jennifer and tried to establish exactly what happened. The last confirmed sighting of Jennifer was the night before at around 6 p.m. She was leaving work, she then called her father, and this is the last time that she had contacted her parents. She did then arrive home, this being the first time since going on vacation. We are not 100% sure what she did that evening, but we do know that later on she did call her boyfriend Rob Allen at around 10 p.m. They chatted about the day that they had both had, they said their usual goodbyes and good nights, and that was the end of that conversation. And this altogether seemed like a pretty typical evening for Jennifer. On the morning of her disappearance, Rob had said he didn't receive a text or a call from Jennifer. He tried to call her before leaving for work, but the call went to voicemail, suggesting that Jennifer's phone was turned off. He did get slightly worried, as it was routine that they talked every single morning, whether that be by text or by phone call. He decided not to tell anybody about his worries because Jennifer had mentioned she had a few meetings that day, maybe she left early for work and was busy, and he thought that she would just probably call him later in the day. But it was actually Jennifer's parents who called him later that day just to let him know about the situation and about the fact that Jennifer was missing. When the investigator had visited Jennifer's home, police decided to finally aid her family in the searches for Jennifer. They had police officers in the area in cars, on foot and on horseback. They then decided to use helicopters and boats, but unfortunately the days rolled on and there was still no sign of Jennifer. On the 26th of January, 2 days after Jennifer's disappearance, a local had saw Jennifer's car on the news. He called police because he believed that Jennifer's car had been parked in his apartment complex parking lot for the last couple of days, and this apartment complex was around 1 mile away from Jennifer's home. Police found the car. They then confirmed it to be Jennifer's and took it in for forensic testing. Police checked the apartment complex's CCTV, and at around 12 noon on the day that Jennifer disappeared, somebody had drove her car into the parking lot. They packed it up and walked away. Police believe that this person isn't Jennifer, and they believe that they are a person of interest and a suspect in this case. Unfortunately, this person has never been identified, and this piece of evidence has to be one of the most frustrating pieces of evidence in any case that I have covered. Police have said this person is extremely lucky. It is all down to the angle, and that is how they've got away with it. That is how they've managed to walk away without police identifying them. And it's so super frustrating to watch this CCTV and to watch exactly what her parents have seen, because had it just been just a centimetre in difference, they could have cracked this case. As the person was walking away from the car, they was walking past the gate, and police have got 3 snapshots, and it happens each of these snapshots the bar of the gate is covering the person. You cannot tell what gender this person is. All you can see is that they're wearing a hat. That is it. You can't tell whether they're male or female. You can't tell what hair colour they have. You can tell very little from this footage, and that is what makes it so frustrating. From the footage as I'm showing it you right now, you are just unable to see any distinctive features. You can't see this person's face, you can't see this person's eyes, ears, hair. You can't see any of that, and that is all because the bars of the gate are covering the person. The only thing that police have been able to say about this footage is that the person is around 5'5" in height. Police had actually sent the footage to NASA to try and enhance it, but NASA were unable to make this image any clearer. Police didn't find any evidence of Jennifer between her home and the apartment complex where her car was found. They used a dog to try and track Jennifer's scent, but the dog just led them from the parked car to her apartment complex. So this suggests that the person who parked the car made their way back to Jennifer's apartment. When police had searched the car and the forensics came back, it didn't really bring any new leads, but it did give them some more evidence. They did find a fingerprint and a fibre, but that did not match to anybody within the system. They also believed that Jennifer's car had been totally wiped down and cleaned. Police have also been able to establish exactly what items of Jennifer's are missing. Her mobile phone, iPod, her keys, her briefcase, her purse and the clothes that she was wearing that day. Police of course had tried to ping her phone, but unfortunately they couldn't get a location because the phone was switched off. Next, investigators were trying to establish exactly what happened to Jennifer. They started to interview people who were close to Jennifer in hopes of trying to find a motive or trying to see if anybody was connected in any way. Her ex-boyfriend, who she was with before Rob, was interrogated. It was believed when he and Jennifer split up, he took it quite hard. He was upset and he had hoped in the future that him and Jennifer could get back together. When police questioned him, they came to the conclusion that he had no involvement. Investigators then questioned her current boyfriend, Rob. He had an alibi that totally checked out, so he was eliminated as a suspect. As I said earlier in this video, Jennifer had expressed her concerns about the builders in her condo to her friends and family. So police decided to question them, and unfortunately police didn't even question half of them, because for them it was too difficult, as most of these builders didn't even speak English. But why didn't the police get a translator? To this day, I don't understand why police did not try harder to interview these builders, because they might know something. They were making Jennifer uncomfortable every single day. There must be a reason or a connection, but we'll never know, because the police just didn't try hard enough to interview all the builders. Police started to interview Jennifer's co-workers, and it actually came to light that her manager had some sort of interest in Jennifer. He made advances towards Jennifer, but Jennifer always brushed it off and just said no. He was interviewed a number of times, but ultimately he was ruled out as a suspect. After interviewing everybody close to her and given all the evidence, police and her family started to wonder if she was actually abducted when leaving her apartment and walking to her car. They also believe that human trafficking is an option, but there isn't any evidence to suggest that it's a strong enough theory. Her bank account and mobile phone haven't been used, and there's been no official sightings of her since. So this leads police to believe that she did not leave of her own accord. The searches for Jennifer continued in the following months, with her parents at the forefront. They were doing everything within their power to find out what happened to Jennifer. Every week the number of volunteers doubled, and there was over 1,400 people looking for Jennifer and trying to find any trace of Jennifer, any evidence. But unfortunately, to this day, despite all the searches, nothing has been found. In recent years, her employer offered a $1 million reward to bring Jennifer home alive, but unfortunately, that was never claimed. Central Florida Crime Line offered a $5,000 reward for anybody who had any information relating to Jennifer's case. And again, unfortunately, nobody has come forward. At the time of her disappearance, it made local and national news. Everybody was talking about Jennifer, and her face was everywhere. But unfortunately, the media coverage didn't bring in any credible leads. In 2010, the FBI took over Jennifer's case, and her name was placed on the FBI's most wanted list. Despite that, her local police department are still doing what they can to find Jennifer. The last official search that I can see that was conducted in connection to Jennifer took place last year. Police were searching a lake in Orange County. I'm unsure if this led them to any fresh information, but if there is any updates on this case, I will let you know in the pinned comments below. The FBI have said that they are following every single lead. They are looking into absolutely everything, even to this day. Her family are still working incredibly hard to try and find Jennifer. They have a website, they have a Facebook page, and I will leave them links down below, because even sharing Jennifer's picture could help her family. So if you could do that from their Facebook page or their website, that'd be absolutely amazing. This video is just a summary of Jennifer's case. There may be information missing. I'm only human. I can only fit so much into one video. So I will leave all my sources and all links to any information down below. If you do want to go and have a deeper dive into this case, you can use them links. Personally, I feel frustrated with this case. I feel that the police have let her family down. Why did they not act sooner? Why did they not do everything in their power to interview as many of them builders as possible? Because them builders could rightly hold the answer. But if anybody knows anything, please contact the police. Please tell the police. I know I have a lot of viewers in America, so share this video around, and if anybody knows anything, do not be afraid to tell police. Just let them know what you know, because at the end of the day, Jennifer's family deserve justice. They deserve to be able to be at ease and be at peace. They don't deserve this day in, day out. And I totally feel for them, I pray for them, and I will be following this case as closely as I can. So that is all for today's video. Thank you for sticking along. Thank you for just supporting me. I am back. That is my first true crime video in a while. That was hard to film. It took me longer than what it would usually take me, but I'm just all jumbling my words, so I'm sorry if the video's a little bit choppy. Please leave your suggestions down below of cases you want me to cover, whether it be a missing persons case, a solved murder, conspiracy, anything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my first video back. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments, and I shall see you in my next true crime video. Bye.